Navigating life post spiritual awakening can be very challenging. And you would think that everything should just start to make sense and you become this open hearted and awake, enlightened being, and all things start to work together for your good and all that. And you constantly are seeing through the illusion of separation in your interactions with others. But that's not usually the case how it is, especially in the beginning. And so some of the ways that I've come up with to navigate this part of the process is by discovering these principles and beginning to apply them within my life. And I call them the master frequency codes, but they're really just ways to work through different levels of inner conflict and sort of clear out the psychological, garbage and things that we have, the unresolved stuff from our childhood, all these things, they are still affecting us in ways that are really remarkable when they start to show themselves, when we start to develop more and more awareness of these processes that are coming up in us and where they're coming from and all these things and how they're affecting us. The more awareness that we gain in this area, it's like, whoa, wow, I didn't even realize how much that was burdening me for so long. So anyways, these principles, these codes, are surrender and trust and willingness, thankfulness, truth, clarity, and unity, and limitless possibility. So as I'm encountering these aspects within myself that come up, these unresolved places and things where, maybe I'm triggered into some sort of fear state, or I'm struggling with an issue of control, let's say, feeling like I want control where I don't have it, or I'm trying to really control myself, and that's creating some resistance inside or some buildup of, almost like a blockage and things. And so again, this can be, one of the perils of being on a path of growth of any kind is that, we oftentimes, while it's necessary, certainly necessary to push ourselves, right, to expand ourselves beyond our limits, to always be growing, right? If we're growing, we're going to be bumping up against the edge of our comfort zones from time to time, and probably often. But then what happens is this psychological piece can come in where maybe it's being driven by a sense of, I don't really know if I'm good enough. Some unresolved issue from childhood, let's say, that's coming out now, eking its way out into your life in a very weird way. And so because this fear, this latent thing is driving the behavior, it can become maladaptive. It can create a whole lot of extra unwanted and unnecessary stress, right? Because let's just say in this example, this feeling of, I'm not sure if I'm good enough. Well, now I got to prove myself to be good enough, which means I got to push harder and harder and harder. And yeah, again, sometimes this drives people to incredible greatness. But often what can happen is that it destroys them in the process. And then it also causes a lot of damage along the way. As we've seen, with people, pop stars and things like that. And, it happens in a lot of different areas, but it's affecting all of us on some level. Maybe that's not your issue. Maybe you're fine with, knowing that you're good enough. Awesome, that's great. But certainly there are probably some other issues that you may be experiencing in the realm of control or willfulness or some sort of lack of, feeling like you don't have enough or aren't enough in some area of your life. Or it could just be a relationship control issue with relationships and things. Nonetheless, so these guidelines, these principles, these codes have served me to become as guidelines, steps along this process of inner conflict resolution. And I found it to be very, very profound and useful as a model. So I just figured I'd share that. I'll probably be talking a lot more about this in the future. It's something I've been taking people through as a process as well, just to kind of act as a framework for my working with others as a coach and, doing this kind of inner work to help people clear out the blockages and those aspects of our personality that are getting in the way of our growth, getting in the way of our freedom of self-expression and things. So, if that's something that you might be interested in, I will put a link on my channel. You can certainly reach out and schedule a call, and hope to see you guys soon. Let me know if you have any comments about this, if it's something that you can relate to or you're going through anything like similar to this. If you're looking for some feedback or some insight, or just want to share, what your experience is, I'd be more than happy to check it out and respond back. And aside from that, if you like this video, give it a like, consider subscribing and putting out video content like this more and more. So appreciate you watching, and I will be seeing you soon. Much love.